Hi everybody, I hope you all doing great this day, and this is your standpoint one more time. I'm with Edna again together.
Today we are together. It has been, I think, 2 programs. I was alone.
You were alone in
the recent one, the previous one, and the other one you were also alone, right?
Imagine. We tend to split.
No, it's not like that. We have other things to do.
All right.
Anyways, guys, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the Standpoint. So, welcome to our today's topic.
Okay, before we just delve into the topic of the day, let's welcome our guests. We are so thrilled to have them in this place. Let's start with
ladies first.
Yeah, sure.
Ladies
we have to.
Yes, so on this side we have.
My name is Kitty Ruhara. I'm a consultant here in management, leadership, and strategy.
We are so delighted to have you here.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the
Thank
Standpoint.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an honor.
You ever heard about the Standpoint? Like this was your first time to come here, right?
My first time being here.
Well, great. On this other side we have.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Nhoadi, bachelor's degree in health services management. I'm a candidate in a master's program in project planning and management. I'm a psychological assistant,
that's great.
Translator, interpreter, consultant. Yeah, that's
Welcome to
We
the
have
Standpoint.
2 consultants
Yeah,
in
I have
this
2
room.
consultants.
Oh, wow, so amazing.
That's so great. Yeah.
So today's topic is so interesting, by the way, because we'll be talking about women and money.
Okay.
Weird, right?
women, money.
Women and money. What
Somehow
do you mean by
strange.
women and money?
So women and money is I want like break down the 2 words because that's obvious for everybody because everybody knows who is a woman and everybody knows what is money. I guess we are not going to, maybe I can try to shed some light over the topic. Yeah, and the topic that I want you guys maybe to tell us, I mean, we see some women, like if we say even all over the world, if you can say who's the most richest person in the world?
Must be a man.
It must be a man?
Yeah.
Why?
Must be a man.
So if
we know it's a man. Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, sure,
He's
it's
the
a
richest
man.
person.
Or maybe women are hiding their stuff. We don't know. So maybe that's what we're gonna. We're humble.
Exactly.
So that's what we're gonna
Humility
discover.
before anything else, man.
We're gonna discover that throughout this program. And like I've been trying to look around, you know, even in Burundi, like when we try to see what's happening, we see that men are more financially better. They are financially better than women. What's your take on that?
Is that even true? That's not true.
It's obvious. It's obvious. If you try to see, like, that's what we were saying even before. Like, if you try to see over the world, like, the most richest person is Elon Musk. Here in Burundi, maybe that's why. Maybe you're humble. Maybe what's your take on that? Yeah, sure. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it's true. What do you think about that?
I don't agree with that. It's just that we don't have maybe numbers of women who are financially stable, who are known. It's just that men are always on the front desk. So that's where that mentality of men being the most financially stable comes from. That's my take on that. I don't know.
Do you have the same perspective, Katie?
Well, maybe if we look into facts, it might be true that there are more men that are wealthy. I'm just saying from the top of my mind. However, we also have to take into account other dimensions or other factors. Women don't just are not the breadwinner, if I can call it like that. You know, women, we play also other roles in the family, in society. You know, we care for the children. We're not saying that men don't do that, but I think that women take on more in terms of roles and responsibilities beyond the financial aspects. And you know, whether the gender, men or women have more money, I don't think it's so much of an issue. It's more of how do they come together to build wealth for those around them. So to me, it's about bringing both your strength and your abilities, men and women, for the common good, whether it's the family, the community, or the nation. Men have certain abilities, and women have other strong strength. And so the idea is just to bring them together.
Yeah, when I heard about this subject, first of all, I was counting the letters that make the word woman and letters that make the word money. They're equal, they're about five letters. And those 5 letters, the 3 letters are in common. So it means that talking women and money, they have a lot to do with. So saying then, that was like a little bit subjective.
Yeah.
So talking about who is more stable and there is not more stable, I think according to what the culture taught us, men, of course, are more independent when it comes to finance. How? We've been raised in a society where a woman is subject to these household works, is subject to, raising children. For village places, they are subject to go in the fields, cultivate. Well, at the end, it's a woman who's going to decide the finance that will be out of the crops from the woman that cultivated. So it's more of the culture that we've been raised in that makes that a man is somehow more independent financially.
But I guess we are not far from the others when it comes to the perception.
Yes.
So what's your take on that? How are they perceived? What's that image they portray outside when it's an independent woman?
A woman has been raised to show that she's inferior to a man since the very childhood. So it's something that was rooted in women from the very childhood. So they grew up saying that I am not really that point to be in the same position financially as a man. I will give an example. Culturally here in Burundi, when, for example, it's not a general perception. When you, for example, a family go out in a pub, and there is a woman probably who has more money than a husband, a woman will be likely give the money to the husband to pay the bill. The man is going to say the bill is on me, whereas it's a woman who is paying. So the culture has brought that thing of making that a man has this supremacy over finance.
Well, I will appreciate so much your ideas, and I will bounce on the same question because I heard from their intervention, they all brought about women are not, supposed to be, are not, considered as breadwinners. But we now see that women are breadwinners to the same point as men.
Yes.
So why do we always consider men as providers now, whereas women are bringing something in their families? Also, you said about, women taking on so many responsibilities pertaining to family caring. So do you think women can really be, having the same opportunities as men in terms of running after bread?
It's all about the culture I've been saying. We are in a patriarchal society, so a man is always taking decisions in a family. So if ever then a woman take this step forward to show that probably she has been more independent financially, it's going to be like, it's a culture shock. It's like you bring in something that is not familiar with what we've been living through, according to what ancestors have been living through. But now today we have different realities. Now that women go to school like men do, women
circumstances have changed.
Yes, circumstances have changed. Women have same jobs like men. They have the same opportunities. I can say they have same opportunities. So I think things are taking another positive trend when it comes to finance.
You said women and men have the same opportunities.
Yeah. Sure.
So let me ask Ketiruhara, sorry. What about those jobs when we, maybe let's say me and Richard were applying for a job, I don't know, and me, I won't be considered that much because maybe, I'll get married at some point, I'll get pregnant, I'll have to go through that, what is it called, that holiday for maternity and everything. Why is that those kind of stigma, can I call them stigma, stereotypes about women? They can't get the same opportunities as men because they have some, should I say, natural obstacles that they meet on their ways, like that. That's what do you think about that?
Well, I think that opportunities are available for everyone. It's true, some of us may be in a better position to grasp those opportunities. Some of us may be in a better position to run with them. But when an opportunity presents itself, it's presented to everybody, generally speaking.
Yes.
So now, when, for example, there's a job position and the person who hires or who makes the decision has got to choose between a man and a woman, some, not everyone, may be thinking, you know, it's a young lady, she may be getting married, etc., etc. But in my opinion, is that particular woman has got to grasp that moment to show what she's able to do. You know, it's not because I am prone to taking some time off because I have to give birth that I need to hide behind it. I know that it's a fact, but it's up to me on how I convince the person who's in front of me to show them that, yes, being away 3 months or starting an hour late and then maybe going home for lunch, that it's not going to impact or have a negative result on my performance. So sometimes we tend to hide behind excuses, but but it really comes down to how well you sell yourself or you convince the other person that that opportunity, just as much as a man can do it, I can also do it as a woman.
But you know, some of the women are not given that opportunity to actually prove that they are able to do that job a man can do, you know.
I don't agree.
I also don't agree.
I don't agree because if a company is recruiting, you're sending your CV just as everybody else, and then on your CV you have to convince the person who's going to be reading or the panel that you're the right person for that job. So first of all, you have to convince, because after all, in the private sector at least, whoever wants to hire, they want to hire the best. Sure. Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you don't want to pay somebody who's not going to do anything. You want the best. So it's up to that person to demonstrate that they're the best men or women for the job, in writing and then also in interviews. But we have to prepare ourselves and we have to, you know, sell ourselves.
Yeah, true. So how about that perception that we're talking about earlier, that the perception a woman who's financially stable, that she has, like the way the outsiders perceive her. What do you think about that? Like, how is it here in Burundi, or even if we talk about African society, because I'm quite sure that it's almost the same, right? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Before I talk about what I think the perception of an independent woman is, you know, I just want to touch on, I strongly believe in two heads are better than one. Yeah. So even in a couple, I'm not assuming that I would speak for everybody, but the idea is you bring your best onto the table. If the man is better at this, or if the woman is making more, whatever it is, you just bring it all together. It's like a football team, you know? Yeah, sure. You've got to work as a team. And but if there are issues where one thinks that, you know, then it becomes problematic. But that being said, I think it all comes down to respect. I think it doesn't matter who makes more. Even if it's the women in this case, there's got to be there's got to be respect for the other person. So when that respect is not there, I think that's when the problems may start. Now, on to the perception. What would be the perception that people have? I don't, excuse my language, but I don't really mind too much about perception of what people think. What truly matters is what you're doing, you know, whatever motivates you to get up every morning, to run, to do things, to achieve things. Why are you doing it? You know, why are you doing it? Are you doing it for the betterment of society? Are you doing it for the better of the communities around you? So I think for me, it's what matters. I don't really spend too much time on what people will be thinking. Yeah, yeah. For as long as you're doing good.
As long as you're doing what's good.
Now, I'm afraid even sometimes you find job givers, they encourage women to apply for the saying, women are really appreciated to be in this place.
Like,
that's
women are encouraged
to apply for this position. So there's another question I want to put to you guys. You know, sometimes we tend to see that there is a masculine fire about conquest. You see, there's something in a man that push him always to conquer. As they do say. So
they should.
Yes, You say they show?
should.
They should. I don't get.
As they should, like that thing that makes them to having that desire of conquering. I think that's how they should feel, right?
I don't know. I don't know. So I want to know, can't we find the same fire in women?
Well, of course, yes, you can find the same fire in women. As I've been saying, in fact, if ever from the very young childhood, if ever you tell a girl that she needs to work hard, she will achieve more, she will get better and better in life, that's what she's going to grow up with. She's going to grow up with a self-esteem that can do better, even can do better as a man, or he can do better than a man, or can do as a man can do. So it's more based on what are we giving to those girls? What are they getting? What are they getting from parents, society, and wherever? So I can say that also these girls can have this fire of conquering. Yeah.
True. I agree with what he's saying, because who we are today has got to do a lot with our history, or what we went through, and our core beliefs, and people so into our belief system. So as he was saying, if every day you're being told "Hachuzobam" in Kirundi, you're not going to achieve much. You know, you're stupid, or you're just a girl, or you're just supposed to do this. If that's what you hear Monday to Monday, January to January, for 10 years, for 20 years, it affects your core belief system. And that's what you believe, and which means that when you're presented with an opportunity, you're not going to run with it. That fire is not there. But on the other hand, if we believe in our girls, if we speak life into our girls, if we tell them that they're able to accomplish great things, and if that's what they hear Monday to Monday, January to January, for 10 years, that's where they're going to believe, and that's where that fire is going to come to also run and to conquer, and then to seize opportunities.
I think the other thing that maybe prevent them from having that fire in them, it's like, you know, when you study, you finish university, and there's like, when you want to start maybe a business, and you know, you want to earn some money of you like yourself, there's that thing the parents said sometimes, like, what's that for? Get married first, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have heard of that, Kitty. Right? There's that thing. What's the need of that money? What's the need of that money if you ain't gonna share it with, you know, maybe your husband and everything? So there's that thing, that raising belief that we're still going through even right now. There's that, like, you are a girl. You are not supposed to be, you know, to be having that fire of conquering something. First get married, then you start, you know, doing that with your husband. So what about that?
Well, we can't ignore the fact that we live in a society, and then there is a culture that is embedded into everything that we do, and it's not going to disappear overnight. And you know, sometimes it doesn't mean that it's good or it's bad, but I think it comes back to what we were saying, you know, as parents as well. We, based on what we believe is what we pass down to our children.
Yeah.
So if my parents believe that, I can't expect anything different. However, I think that programs like this and so many other things that people are doing here in Burundi, we're challenging the status quo. We're having conversations that challenge the way we've been doing things. So I think that eventually things may change. But also, as a young woman, you're 22, you're just finishing college or university. You know, if you know yourself, if you've been graced to know that there's a particular path that enables you to stand on your own 2 feet and to be independent, and then believing that the right person will come at the right time. So again, it all comes down to, what do you want? You know, what do you want? What you're chasing after? You know, if we just want to get married for just the sake of getting married, that's somebody's dream. But we all have different desires, different dreams and beliefs.
You know, some girls might even want to be like that, like, you know, starting something
like,
for their own, like.
She actually pointed out about something very, very crucial, like saying, if a young girl knows where she wants to be, sometimes she has to just to understand that she has to do something about her life.
But what about the influence?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. And sometimes, I don't know whether I can call them naysayers. Sometimes they say that ladies or women, they don't really know what they want in life. So is that misogyny, or what's your perception about that?
I still don't know what I want in life.
Yeah, so you don't know. Yeah, that's what I just. Yeah.
What do you mean, like, we don't know what we want?
Like sometimes, even like, for example, for instance, sometimes a lady will tell you, I want, a guy like this, a guy who's wise with a lot of money. But at the end of the day, you find she's with a guy who's not really rich, a guy who's not really wise, and also,
this what we wanted is what God wants for us. So that's,
you see, now you see, she's like,
It's not like we don't know what we want. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, some will probably not know what they are able to do, don't know what they are, the potential that they have, because they don't get opportunities to know them. They are not exposed to something or to a place where they can get the knowledge, the skills that are required probably to do what they can do. You were talking about marriage. I want to come back on that because yesterday I was scrolling through this WhatsApp status and I read somewhere, it quoted, financially independent women are likely not to get husbands. So probably that can be another topic, but you see, it has a lot to do with these women and money. So I think that men and the women have the same potentials. They can do the same thing. If ever they can be able to assess where they are, how far they can go, and what it takes to get there, both of them can have the same results.
Yes, it's true that young girls won't know what they want in life. Life is strange. Nobody knows tomorrow, right? And so the younger you are, there's still a lot of things you don't understand about yourself. And that's why it's important that, as much as possible, we coach and we mentor the younger generations. Yeah. It would be even great in schools, in high school, to have counselors or mentoring programs to help girls, as they make lifetime decisions, to walk them through those type of things. And I know there are a lot of great programs. Volunteers and associations are doing a lot of great things for young girls. I think we need to do more of that because personally at 18, I don't think I knew what I wanted. I even picked my studies at college because I thought, okay, maybe this one will get me somewhere. So a lot of us around 18, 19, 20, we don't know life. We don't know, do we go left, do we go right? But, if there are programs and individuals that, walk us through, I think it can help that young girl achieve her highest potential. Now, on to what you read yesterday. That women, there's a study, I don't know who conducted, first of all I need facts. Who conducted the study, what year, and then what geography or what area. No, I'm joking. But maybe it could be a general observation that they're not likely to get married. So the reason why I don't agree, it's because of what I believe. I don't believe I was created, or I don't believe that my purpose is to get married. That's not why I was created.
Let's start from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that each and every one of us are gifted. We have talents. We have abilities that this world needs. And if we are here at this time, it means there's something for us to do, to use our gifts or talents or abilities towards the common good or to do good in society. So I believe that each and every one of us, men, women, girls, boys, we must be focused on our purpose as to why we're created. And that's what drives me. Everything else comes after that because I believe that I am here for God's purpose, as you said. We're here to be used by God and for the glory of God. Right. And as I read my Bible, I didn't see where it says that you have to get married at 22 or 52. I haven't come across that scripture yet. But it's about the journey. It's about why we're here. And everything else will align and come into place.
I think that's something that the society has just created, that a girl is like the end of it is to get married.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
we have different purposes, as Katie said. Like your purpose isn't the same as mine, and isn't the same as Katie Mara.
Absolutely.
So I don't think we like the final point for a girl is to get married. And for that thing you said, we don't know what we want. Even if I don't know if you're joking or if it's true. I think when you finish college, you really don't know the path that you want to take. It's by the opportunities you get on your way and the experiences you get. That's what shapes you, and that's what makes you think of, I want to focus on this. I want to go in this field. That's what I think.
Agreed.
This is a last question. What can we do basically so as women like get that awareness of becoming really very, very rich as men do?
Yeah, thank you. I think what can be done is creating a conducive environment, like having more sensitizations, creating spaces where they can feel free to express themselves, to know what is going on outside, what's going on outside the box. Just exposing them and just cultivating this God in them, telling them that they can do something, they can be better from where they are, showing them that they can, as she has been saying, showing them that they are able, showing them they have all required skills that can take them from where they are and become financially independent like men do.
Sure.
According to me, if I may give my opinion, it's the secret is to stand out. Don't fit in what the society has maybe created as the right way to go, or I don't know. Just you have to stand out and do what you really feel like doing.
Yeah. You said, what can we do for a young lady that's, I don't know how many kilometers from here? I think for us to be practical about it, it's to think, what can I do to influence or to help a young girl to believe in herself, or a young lady? We need to look immediately around us. There's nothing I can do for a young lady that's Muruyigi, because our path will probably not cross. But I have to ask myself, the ladies that I'm surrounded with, those that are placed onto my path, or I find myself onto their path, what are we doing to those? Because it's those that we can reach. It's those that every day we can inspire. You know what I mean? And if each and every one of us do our part, eventually we can spread that belief system that they're able, and then also to encourage them to discover their potential. So practically, let's think right around us, within our communities, within our families, within our friends. That's where change starts, and then eventually can spread. Practically, I think that's what we should do as individuals, to try and influence those who are immediately around us. But those of you who are in this domain, in media, there's so much you can also do. You can do programs for young girls that can be run at schools. So your ability is to reach so many people. So if you ask us, that's what we can do. But also as a media company, it's to offer those kind of content that can be accessible to those young girls.
That's true.
That's great. I don't know what to say. Now I'm speechless. I guess the time is even up. So let's put an end to this program. But I have to thank our two guests. It was really amazing to have you. I hope you
They'll be willing to come over next time if we call them, right?
Yes,
so thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you also, Richard. Thank you to Patrick.
My pleasure.
So thank you guys, all of you who are watching us. I hope you learned something from this. So stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.